Good morning and welcome to Quest Today on Quest Television and of course Quest 93.1 FM. Today is the 17th day in the month of January, a lovely, bright, quite cold Wednesday morning here in the studios, and I do hope you're experiencing that as well. Right now it is time for us to look into the headlines that have made the rounds this morning. My name is Orikemi Mariam and welcome to the newspaper review here on Quest. Making a return to the studios this morning are four newspapers. We have the Guardian newspaper, the Nation newspaper, the Punch made a return, as well as the Vanguard newspaper. And of course, you should know that the newspaper review here on Quest is sponsored by the Vanguard. Yes, I am not alone this morning in the studios. With me is Comrade Efe Odomo, who happens to be the bishop who refused to get ordained. Yes, and if you've been, an ardent viewer and listener, you would already know him. But for those who are new on the show, you are in for a thrill. Well, good morning and welcome, sir.
Oh, good morning. You look Babs this morning.
I look what?
Babs, a bright and beautiful sister. And I am better educated this morning.
Well, okay. Well, let's hope. Let's leave all of that. Well, let's head straight into the papers, and the first paper for review this morning will be the Vanguard. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the major headline reads, Tinubu and Wike rise against insecurity and vow renewed action. Well, comrade, before I even went forward,
we always vow.
Well, I was about to come to that because it says, though we always get some promises. But, no, actually, let's hope this is different. This situation is different. But do also read that story on page 5 of the Vanguard. Moving above the masthead, we have NNPC should have privatized refineries before rehabilitation. And this statement is coming from none other than Atiku himself. You can read more on that on page 2. 83 illegal refineries uncovered in 1 week. 83 of them. Yeah, you can get more details on that on page 9 of the Vanguard. And a statement coming from former President Buhari. He says, I prepared myself for probe. Yes. Well, comrade, I'm sure you want to react on that.
Definitely.
You can read more details on that on page 2 of the Vanguard. Moving down below, we have buildings destroyed as explosion rock parts of Ibadan. Yes, this happened, I think this happened early or yesterday or early this morning. But do well to read more on that on page 8 of the Vanguard. And also, federal government building fiscal resilience to reduce foreign borrowing, says the finance minister. More details on that on page 20. On palliative funds, it says there's a plot to link Baja, says a source. But you can read more on that on page 4. And moving to page 12 of the Vanguard, it says Supreme Court judgments don't throw Nasarawa into crisis, says the APC. On sports, we have AFCON 2023. Nigerians should keep supporting us. Trust Ekong begs. More details on that on page 31. And that's much we can take on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The next paper for review is The Guardian. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, federal government opts for conditional divestment as oil majors trade $4.5 billion assets. More details on that on page 6 of the Guardian. Moving on, we have endless hurdles for Free Trade Zone Act 32 years. Endless hurdles for Free Trade Zone Act 32 years after. You can read more details on that on page 4. U.S. courts to repatriate over 5 billion naira stolen assets to Nigeria. It's making it to page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. But moving on from that, we have federal government orders on border closure still in force, says Customs. More details on that on page 30. Inflation and currency depreciation undermining Nigeria's economic outlook is a headline there on the front page of the Guardian. But if you want to read more on that, you can go to page 16. And also political class and security chiefs promise action on killings and abduction epidemic. More details on that on page 6. To check absconding teachers and salvage education sector is a major headline there as well on The Guardian. But you can read more of that on page 2. And also moving over, we have Wike summons emergency security meetings over kidnapping. Yes. Let's see what will come out of that. Well, comrade, you're on your own on this one. Yes, more details on that on page 30. Governor calls for calm as casualties and damaged buildings trail Ibadan explosion. Yes, this seems to be making a round on it. Quite a sad one there indeed. But you can read more stories on this on page 2 of The Guardian. And that's what you can take on the front page of The Guardian newspaper. The next paper for review is The Punch. And on the Punch newspaper, the major headline is still talking about the abduction epidemic, as it says anti-kidnapping protest holds in Abuja today as 10 suspects arrested. The writer that says Tinubu vows crackdown on kidnappers, agents of darkness, and abductors kill hotel barman. Yes, quite a sad one again. But more details on that on page 2. Federal government saves 8 trillion naira from subsidy removal and FX reform, says Tinubu panel. But you can read more of that on page 20. And still on page 20, talking about the refinery, it says Dangote investors gain 1.2 trillion naira. Also, naira plunges to 1,300 naira per dollar at parallel market. All of the stories you can get on page 20 of the Punch. The major picture headline there is the explosion that happened at Ibadan. Yes, we can see, well, it's a gruesome sight there, but you can read more details on that on page 29. The final paper for review this morning is The Nation. And on The Nation newspaper, the major headline reads, President raises red alert over rising banditry and kidnapping. The writer there says Tinubu demands concrete action from service chiefs, and also IG and Wike swing into action. More details on that on page 5. Moving above the masthead, many feared killed and houses destroyed in Ibadan explosion is making it to page 6. And also EFCC quizzes AGF in humanitarian ministry probe. More details on that on page 4. APC adopts direct primary in Edo as party chairman joins race is making it to page 2. And moving on, we have declare me Nasarawa governor, PDP candidate Ombugabu. Ombugadu tells Supreme Court, sorry for murdering the name, but yes, you can get more details on that on page 2. Moving down below, we have Buhari, why I didn't fire Emefiele. Wow, quite an interesting read there. It says the writer that says claim on cabal existence, bloody nonsense. And also APC primary 2023 polls transparent. Everybody wants to know why Buhari didn't fire Emefiele, but you can get more details on this on page 5 of The Nation newspaper. And well, that's much you can take on the front page of The Nation. And at this point, we've taken all the major headlines on the front of the dailies I mentioned earlier, which is The Guardian, The Nation, The Punch, as well as The Vanguard newspaper. And it's now time for you to be able to call into the show before we now later on move to Comrade if you're dumb, or to enlighten us on some of the headlines that made the rounds. Well, the numbers are still the same: 081 88 931 and also 08022 931 931. Just do well to state your name, your location, and then have your say. But yes, we are on TV. Be mindful of the words you use here on TV, and do not forget to turn down the volume of your TV or your radio set to avoid connection interruptions. With that being said, let's take our first call for the day. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning and welcome. Your name and your location, please.
Yes, this is Johnny of Life from Mugere.
Yes, Mr. Johnny of Life, welcome. Please, have your say.
Yes, the problem of insecurity in Nigeria is that even the leader, permit me to say, even the leader are enemy of this country because they have not been taking any drastic action against these people because their children are not being kidnapping and their children are not being killed. And that is the reason why all these things are happening. How many of these people have been dragged to court and jailed? How many of them? How many of them? None of them have been jailed. It is only sometimes they just play politics about the insecurity and religious. So let us do what is right in this country so that the country will be safe for everybody. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnny of Life. But yes, we're still taking calls here on the newspaper review. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Well, if you're a first-time caller, the numbers are still the same: 081 88 931 and 08022 931 931. Hello, good morning.
Right. Good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your radio.
Yeah, done.
Please turn off your radio set.
It is done.
All right, good morning. Welcome. Your name and your location, please.
Ed from Mugeli.
All right, please have your say.
Buhari give reasons why he didn't sack Emefiele. He's always giving reasons. Either he's not aware or he has one reason to give because he was inept. Then, talk of insecurity. There's a lot of complicity in this insecurity. If not, it would have died down ever since. But because there's complicity, how will kidnappers know about movement armies that they will ambush them when they are going to rescue people. It's so unfortunate that those who thought will help us are no longer helping us. They are the people betraying their own selves. That is the army, the police, and whatever security outfit we have. They are betraying themselves. That is what is making this insecurity to linger on. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much. Quite an opinion over there, Comrade. I'm sure you got that. But yes, at this point, we are still taking calls on the newspaper review. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Your name and your location, please.
Joseph from Ugeli.
Mr. Joseph from Ugeli, please have your say.
I want to talk NNPC Limited. After the
Okay, we seem to have lost that call, yes, but do well to turn down the volume of your TV or radio setup, but just turn it off, yeah, so we don't have any communication issues. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Bobby.
And you're calling from where? I didn't quite get you. Hello? Yes, we seem to have lost that call as well. If you're just joining in, it's the newspaper review here on Quest, and we had 4 newspapers this morning. The Guardian newspaper, the Nation newspaper, the Punch, as well as the Vanguard. And yes, you still have time to call into the show. The numbers are still 081 88 931. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Ike, and I'm calling from Ugeli.
Welcome on board. Please have your say.
Yeah, how is my bishop this morning?
Oh, your bishop is doing well, and by the mechanical power of Miriam, I will be ordained soon.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Please, I want to know what is happening to our dollars. 1,300 naira per dollar, and this has affected so many goods in the market. People can no longer buy goods. What's going on?
If I may come in, because you've asked that question, it is not our dollars. It is the US dollars. It is the Naira actually that is having problems. It's not our dollars, because we are not a dollar spending country. We are only dollarizing our economy. And we are not producing anything to make our Naira value to go up. So it will continue to go down. It's just a simple market forces.
All right. Yes, we still have time to take 1 or 2 more phone calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome. Your name and your location, please. Good morning. All right, let's put a hold to the calls for now and come over to Comrade Ifeanyi Odomo, yes, to enlighten us on the headlines that made the rounds. We have a lot of juicy headlines this morning. A lot,
yes, security.
Especially, yes, centered on security, because that is the most important right now. What is going on? The president has raised a red alert. Wike has
who is raising the red?
Well, it's been said that Wike is taking action.
No, but both of them are tit-a-tit over the security issues. Like when you were reading those news headlines, I told you, and yes, I bumped in, that Wike should go back to Port Harcourt and start fighting for the governorship. Look, you cannot leave your pounded yam in your bedroom and you are fighting with somebody with corn on the streets of Nigeria. You are leaving the enormous problems in Abuja, and you are talking about governorship issue in Rivers that we will soon know who is in charge. He's not in charge of Rivers, he should be in charge of Abuja. This thing is happening in his domain. And now Nigeria is becoming more of a Titanic ship that got sank, and people who tried to go there and see what was happening, they also drowned. It will get a situation in Nigeria that those who are even trying to help us to get out of the security imbroglio will also be consumed.
So, Comrade, you're not seeing any way out of this?
With the present situation of things, yes, when your own minister is paying ransom to kidnappers, are you not aware that Pantami volunteered to pay 50 million? If the people that are supposed to tame the mad dog are part of people that are training the mad dog, where is the situation? Where is the solution out of it? Who do you run to now? When the home minister is paying ransom, who is he giving that money to that they will not be able to trace? Who is he giving the money to? Why do we continue to deceive ourselves? In a civilized society, that man should be in the cooler by now. For you to say you will help him pay 50 million. As I just started, they've killed 3 more. I don't know whether you heard of it.
Yes.
They've killed 3 more. Now, are you going to wipe off that family? What is their offense? Whom have they offended that will not forgive them? You raise something from how many million to 700 million. How many people will... Even can the president produce 700 million on the spot? How? Unless, of course, there is something, there is an axe they want to grind. I have not, for today, seen any way out of this thing. Because, one, the whole 3 arms of the government, they are totally confused. They don't know what to do. Your Tukano, what are they doing at the airport? that they were permanently parked there. What are they doing there? Your NIN, that is, they force all of us to go to the banks and register NIN, you cannot withdraw your money, but you can use that same number to call your people. You can use your SIM to call your people. Every SIM is registered and traced to every particular person. And that is why they will tell you, do not register by the roadside so that you can have all your data there. They have all these things. They are making phone calls from somewhere. They have a drone. A drone can trace where a phone call is made, and they can go there and pick the people that are involved. What is so difficult that they cannot get anybody? Look, if you ask a man, if I steal your money now, assuming I steal your 1 billion naira now, you ask me to help you look for the 1 billion. In life, you will never find it, because I will never allow you to go to where I kept it. We should tell ourselves the truth. Cause paid is paid. Nigeria, we are in a sorry state.
So come on, you're not seeing any way out of this right now.
Now, who is going to help you out? You go to the police. Okay, let me just tell you one scenario yesterday happened in Berlin, the very street where Leo is, our honorable, respected leader. Just at the entrance, these two young men were driving their cars, Toyota Camry, pure white. The police just came from behind and blocked them. Then they asked the boys to come down. One of them carried his gun, wanted to hit the boy on the head. For what reason? And they pushed these guys out of their car. They entered the car. One of the two policemen entered the car and they drove away. Their own Sienna they came with. The rest policemen entered the Sienna and they left the two boys there. Where are they taking those the vehicle to? What happens to those boys? And the boys were there, they were helpless. Now, which police station will you go and report that matter? Where? The person you're supposed to report to is the person that is hunting you. So what do? It's just like you were robbed on the road. You went to the police station to go and lay a complaint, and the person at the counter was the person that robbed you.
Okay, well, Comrade, we have a lot of juicy headlines to look at this morning, yes. But before we do that, let's see if we can take one call or two before we move over back to Comrade. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, man. This is what I heard from Mosa.
Mr. Henry, welcome. Please have your say.
Tinubu, wicked, bad, against security.
Yes.
Demand public action. Yes, as our comrade is saying there. You know, it's always putting in a funny advice that if each country this place more than a specific time.
24 hours.
Government are involved. And it's the fact. This government, so people are making money out of it, security. Like I said, now look at the NNN, look at the place you pass through that side. It's gate. They are still using no conflict has been caught. So they should still put their brains together. If it requires meeting Israel for America to think they had the meeting that stop, they should do that for Christ's sake. Then again, NNPCL should have privatized the before evacuation. I think, yes, you know, yesterday, Congress said that this is the time when after they sold as peanuts. You know that they have been before the evacuation. They should that they are way bigger. They should not be sold as peanuts for chronic. For Christ's sake. Then, finally, inflation and naira decision undermining Nigeria's economic outlook. It's a very good point. We must hear today that if you look at it, that the palliatives are not good coming again. Labor and Nigerian nobody talking now. That is the privation now. And people are helpless. Anything can happen. So this country should the government should be very, very careful because if they feel that they are, no, we are not the casual. Anything can happen and can explode.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Comrade,
yes.
Another headline that seems to have made the rounds that is quite disturbing. Explosions, that rocked Ibadan. What is currently going on right now?
You know, the whole Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, soonest will become ungovernable. Everybody is angry. Everybody just want to do one thing or the other and not fully aware that nothing will happen to him. They just go and cause chaos and those conflicts. But we don't know the cause of that explosion.
We don't, yeah, I was about to ask you.
It was a gas explosion, whether pipeline explosion or bomb, we don't know yet. Until the government will come out with a white paper on it. So we may not be able to talk so much about that. But I can also say that it can be traceable to terrorism. I'm not putting 100%.
Well, we don't yet know about that, especially as we don't know the reasons for the explosion at this point.
The government comes out with white paper. And I said possibly. I did not say it is.
Well, I don't think there's any need for us to even go towards that spot right now.
Once it continues happening like this, you have to start thinking more than the way you're supposed to think. Tell me, you and I, are we safe today? In all seriousness, are we? Because they are not going from house to house to pick people. Like what is happening in Abuja. How can you go and pick a father, all the daughters, and you ask the father to go and bring 50 million? From 50 million, you went to 700 million. The man could not raise it. You killed the first daughter. As I just said, they said they killed 3 more victims. And the government is seated in Abuja without anything being done. Look, Miriam, let us say a spade. If we are not careful, our government will lead us into another Cambodia and Somalia. And let me tell you, if that thing happens in Nigeria, it will be a total tsunami.
Well,
disaster.
I do not
pray for that because I'm afraid to die.
I do not think that is
Those
going
who
to
are
happen.
dead are not back yet, so like, we don't know what is happening over there. But in order for us not to know, we should not be in a hurry to go there. And the only way we should not be in a hurry to go there is to put our house in order.
All right, Comrade, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. But yes, it is time for us to log out of this session. Comrade.
Yes.
Yes, it is what it is. I have to let you go, but I do look forward to having you tomorrow.
By the power of ordination that is coming upon me, will never pass you by.
All right, thank you everyone for amen. Thank you very much for keeping it real here on the newspaper review on Quest today. But for now, from myself, from Comrade Ife Domo, and from Quest crew, bye for now and have yourself a lovely, lovely Wednesday.